of want to know how it's gonna.
Yeah, that's what happened at my house on Friday night. It
Well-
flickered a little bit, and then it went entirely out.
Yeah, I'm a little
And there was
worried
no,
about that.
and there was no electricity. And I tried putting on the lights at different times, and there was still no electricity at 8 something, so I said, okay, I think I'll just go back to sleep.
If you want to be able to come today, I think that's kind of understandable. Safer to stay home and watch the Super Bowl.
And that's what, that's what different people in the Hilo said. They may not go to that Dharma gathering because it's supposed to. But I said, the Super Bowl doesn't start until like what? 1:30?
You have to do a lot of eating before that. That's when you.
Oh, is that the main thing? Oh, so you start eating from what, 9 o'clock?
Oh yeah, that's tradition. Yeah, I remember one of the benches.
Fell, it fell. It fell down.
So, even that door could be. Okay, the stream is live.
It's empty people. Well, I guess we don't need this.
Yeah, that's very bad leak out there. Sorry, let me just test this. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be right.
Oh, it is from 1 p.m. Oh, 1 p.m. Well, I could come back. Is it till about 3? Okay. Yeah. Oh, and then he's going back to Saturday? He's flip-flopping. Oh, maybe because Saturday, the other Saturdays or Sundays is not good. No, because I thought this. Oh, he's only having one. Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know. That's what he wrote. No, I thought we were having the Shoshinge for beginners
2 times in February, but
Oh, no, just
it's once.
Yeah, just
Okay. So March he can do twice,
So,
maybe.
I think it was
Is it so? Is it always going to be Sunday?
yeah, I think as of now it's
Okay. Oh, 12:30. But this one says 1 p.m. I don't know. We should clarify that. Oh, Sensei, can you clarify that? Is it 12:30 or 1 p.m.? Whoa. Oh, over here is more violent than my house.
yeah, mine's too.
My house, I guess that hedge does protect.
Yeah, this is louder.
Yeah, over here is. Why is that? What is out there?
know what time this Super Bowl begins? Tonight? What?
Yeah, in the afternoon.
Afternoon.
I think 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock.
Hawaii time, 1 o'clock.
Ohayo gozaimasu. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our February 8th Sunday service. Please join me in 1 minute of silent meditation. Now we will have chanting of Shoshinge on page 20 in your service books. Will everyone please gassho before chanting?
Yogi Gaiko Yakusangi
Please stand for Vandana Ti-Sarana on page 17, which will be led by Reverend Steve, and remain standing for the three treasures on page 18. Oh.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa buddham saranam gacchami Dhammam saranam gacchami Sangham saranam gacchami. Difficult is it to receive life in human form. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the Buddha Dharma. Now we hear it. If we do not receive awakening in the present life, then in what life can we hope to receive it? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we, together as one, begin on the great path of enlightenment, holding in our hearts the supreme aspiration. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we, together as one, enter the storehouse of the Dharma and attain true wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we, together as one, uniting in harmony, strive to live for the enlightenment of all beings. The incomparable, deep, and profound Dharma is difficult to encounter even through countless ages of kalpas. Now we are privileged to hear and receive it. Let us endeavor to thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Buddha Dharma. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Okay, you may be seated. Well, I can just go directly into it. Well, hello there. Ohayo gozaimasu. Aloha, everybody. Thank you very much for braving the weather. I was told that it's going to be kind of rainy this week, but I wasn't expecting like this, kind of monsoon hurricane weather here. So please be careful when you're driving home, and thank you very much for joining us. Even though there's a Super Bowl on, I know that. It's not going to be for a few hours, but on the mainland, the temples get a little empty on Super Bowl weekend. So thank you very much for coming today. So my name is Reverend Steve, and I recognize most of you from yesterday. I noticed that when we're chanting Shoshinge, I was hearing everybody a lot more. Does everybody feel more confident with chanting Shoshinge together? Yeah. And so we had a very successful lecture yesterday. Yeah, maybe we better close the door. With weather like this, I'm always thinking about the passage in Renyo Shonin's letter on White Ashes, where he talks about with the coming wind of impermanence. Oh, Kevin. Oh. The coming wind of impermanence. And so, when the winds of impermanence are blowing, they tend to blow very strongly. And, we get buffeted by this wind back and forth. And, it's our encounter with impermanence make us feel like we're a ship lost at sea sometimes. When we start having health issues or start feeling our age coming on, we're getting buffeted by those winds. few weeks ago, you folks were kind enough to bring out a birthday cake for me. I'm very glad. But 43 years of age is about the time when I got to realize that, I'm not getting any younger. At the beginning of the year, I was talking about New Year's resolutions, about going to the gym more often and eating more healthily. Well, one of the things that I did when it was my birthday week was go to the doctor, get a blood work done, and it's like taking your car to the auto shop. You don't want to do it. It's like going to the dentist or to the doctor because you know that you're going to get some bad news. And so you let it wait and wait and wait. And so when I got the test back, he said, well, no worries about colon cancer or anything like that, but you are going to have to watch what you eat because you've got, your blood sugar levels are really high, so you got diabetes. And so, that's not too unexpected, I guess. In my family, we do have some people who have it, but it caused me to realize that, we think of ourselves as our brain. Everything just goes in to feed it. We eat whatever we want. You see something really delicious. You see something that, something to drink, something to eat. You're not thinking about what you're putting into your body for most of your life. And when we're young, our body is able to process everything that goes into it. When you're a teenager, you got to eat as much as you can. But when you get older, boy, you really got to be careful. And so, instead of going with medications, the doctor said, well, you're going to have to cut out carbohydrates. You're going to have to cut out sugars. Gosh, those are my favorite things in the world, carbohydrates and sugars. And for the first time, I'm really having to look at what's inside the foods that I'm eating. And it's not something I've ever really done before. I try not to get something that's real junk food kind of stuff, but every kind of food, it's got some kind of carbohydrates and sugars and fibers and all these things. As we get older, we need more help to be able to process. And if you're not careful, you may, your kidneys and your other organs aren't able to process them at all. And so, I'm thinking, why me? This is terrible. I can't eat what I want. Going out to any restaurant in America is kind of rough because everything's got so much sugar and gluten and all that kind of stuff in there. But I realized I had to put my hands together and say Namu Amida Butsu because our body is our teacher. Our teachers, of course, it's like the 7 Pure Land Masters. It's Renyo Shonin, it's Shinran Shonin, but our teacher is also impermanence. It's our bodies. It's, hey, can't act like you always act forever. There's changes happening. And that part of what it means to be Buddhist is how to receive these, shocks to the system, this wake-up call, and to try to roll with it. Every day in our lives, there are teachers appearing in front of us that we don't even realize. That, the people we see around us, people who are going through old age, who are going through disease, they're also trying to teach us. They're reflecting the Dharma back at us. It's the world of impermanence that we're living in, and we're also reflecting that to other people. I was thinking of myself as just a floating brain, just no connection to anything, but I have to give thanks to this body for supporting me for 43 years. It's woken up every morning. It's been able to breathe in and breathe out. The heart has kept beating. Not everybody has a body that's able to work like that. And so, we're grateful to our parents for giving us these bodies in the first place. We're thankful to our ancestors for making it possible for us to be here. But, I was not treating my body like an honored teacher. I was treating it like a garbage dump. And so now I got to be more careful. And I think part of that, being aware of what goes into the foods that we eat, the water we drink, the air we breathe, is a realization that we are deeply connected to the world around us. The food that we eat every day is something that we take for granted. It's just, for some people it's like just a source of fuel. We'll just have a toast in the morning or something like that. But when you think about the nutrition that it provides us, the energy and the upsides and downsides, you got to balance all this stuff. Because if we don't realize that we're connected to our bodies, if we don't realize that we're connected to the world around us, we're just going to end up going to ruin, to taking it all for granted until we realize it's too late. The world is always trying to deliver these wake-up calls to us that we've only got a finite amount of time. And that, the winds of impermanence are outside of our door. And that, it sometimes is only after we lose a family member that we get sick ourselves, that, we start having these encounters with an impermanence that we can't say no to, that we can't ignore. And so, what can we do? Our fantasy about never changing, about never growing older or growing sick, that's all dissolved when we come in contact with the great teacher of impermanence. We can put our hands together and realize that the Buddha has been talking about this for over 2,500 years. This knowledge that we are sick, we are dying, and that's not something because we did something bad, that we have negative karma, that we're bad people or something like that. It's just the moment we're born, we are beginning to die. And it's one of the scariest things in the world, only second to maybe public speaking for most people. But the knowledge that our lives are finite is something that we try to put out of our mind. We try to stop thinking about it. We don't want to think of, having to get a checkup. We don't want to think about what the mechanic is going to say when we take our car in. We try to put ourselves in a bubble of, this is what I think life is. But it's a fragile bubble to put ourselves into. And when that bubble is burst, all we have left is the truth of impermanence. We have the truth of the Dharma right there. And, it won't wait for us to catch up. We have to be able to receive life as it comes and keep rolling. We think of this as like when we're in the midst of depression or anxiety or being sick, you feel like you're that boat being blown around, but that wind is waiting for us to catch it in our sails, to push us towards seeking awakening, towards the Buddha, towards the Dharma. It's all the, it seems very complicated, all the writings in Chinese and Sanskrit and Japanese, but what they're talking about is this essential truth at the heart of our reality, is that things are changing. The thing that we think of as ourself, this healthy, young person, is not what's real. We're subject to the same causes and conditions everything else is. And what Buddhism arms us with is, instead of a shield to keep reality out, it gives us glasses to be able to properly see the truth of the world we're living in, to see that we only have a finite amount of time. one of my favorite movies of all time is called Ikiru. It's a Akira Kurosawa movie about a low-level bureaucrat who is given the news that he has cancer. It drives him to depression and drink, and then he finds these different ways to try to cope with it. He goes off drinking and trying to have fun, but he just depresses all the people around him. Then he tries to become friends with this young girl because he loves her energy and youth, but that doesn't work either. But what he comes back to in the end is that on the stack of projects that he's been ignoring for many years is turning a local, like a swamp, like a post-war swamp, into a public park for children. And so even as his body is starting to fail, he finds great purpose in this project to transform this small piece of land into something that the children can enjoy. And so the end of the movie, even he dies sitting on one of the metal swings that, through all this bureaucratic red tape, through all this intimidation by like local crime lords and stuff like that, he sits on this swing, able to see this thing, this very small thing in the scope of the universe, but this tangible thing he's done for the people around him. And he kind of dies mostly forgotten, but we as the audience know that he's done something wonderful. And so in all of our lives, knowing that we have such a limited time left, I think what Buddhism is pushing us to do is to realize that there are things that we can do, that we are able to change our way of thinking. We are able to, we don't have to be locked in this cycle of samsara and suffering forever. We can find other people who are suffering just like we are, and we can make things happen to help other people. So when we come in contact with impermanence, it's a reminder that not that we're dying, but we're still alive, and that there's always something that we can still do. I think that's a gift that Buddhism gives to us. So on this very windy day, I'd like to thank you folks very much for listening, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Sensei, for your inspiring speech. Okay, here are some announcements for what is happening in the next few weeks. On February 10, Tuesday, at 3 p.m., there's ukulele band practice in person and on Zoom. And on February 15, Sunday, at 10 a.m., there's a Nirvana Day service in person and also Zoom. And then on the same day, February 15, Sunday at 1 p.m., there's the Shoshinge for Beginners study class in English, in person and Zoom in the conference room with Reverend Inoue. Okay, then February 20, on Friday, 10 a.m., there's the Dharma matinee movie in the conference room. On February 22nd, Sunday, 10 a.m., Sunday service in person and Zoom. Then also on February 22nd, Sunday at 10:45, there's the general meeting and New Year's luncheon. On February 24, Tuesday, 3 p.m., there's ukulele band practice in person and on Zoom. And again on February 24, Tuesday at 5:30 p.m., there's the dinner and movie night in the conference room. Then on February 28, Saturday, 10 a.m., there's Shinran Shonin Memorial Service in person and on Facebook Live. Okay, let's see. Okay, please rise for Gatha Ondokusan on page 112. Please join me in Gasho, Namu Amida Butsu. This concludes the service for today. Thank you for attending, and then see you next week, Sunday.